Never let exams define who you are, especially within you. Okay. YouTube, Antanchi, what's up? It's your boy CEO Habasha, and we back with another video. Wait, speed up, bro. Anyways, it's your boy CEO Habasha, and we're back with another video. And as you can tell by the video title, we're finna discuss what to do and what you definitely should not be doing in school. It's all mental, all right? So we can go ahead and do that. I ran, I did my jump ropes, did some cardio, you feel me? My stomach is rumbling, bumbling, so I think I'm gonna go get me some food and then we're gonna discuss while I eat. Hopefully that doesn't really take away from the video. Hopefully that doesn't, bother you, feel me? Like, maybe you can get your food, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you can get some snacks. We can eat together. Maybe just drink some water together. And just have this open discussion, all right? See, in just, like, a few seconds for you, but probably, like, 30 minutes or so for me. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys in a sec. Is she? Let's get into it. Don't do this in school, all right? Do this instead. And this goes for high school and college. It can go for middle school too, but this is mainly for those, like, yeah, let's just say school in general. Fuck it. How about that, all right? Excuse my language, but literally this needs to be told. I feel like if I had someone tell me this, like from my age or just someone that I don't know. I just feel like this would be very valuable to those who are going into high school, especially in college. And yeah, by the way, so the food I got was, some orange chicken and some teriyaki, you feel me? Just some light, some protein. Smack. I feel like maybe I should have ate my food, then done this, but I hope this is not rude. All right, we're just gonna do this together. Comment down below what you're eating, what you're drinking. How about that? Yeah, let's start it off like that. But anyways, to add some value, to give you some advice, Anchi and Anta, I feel like this is gonna be helpful. And before I say this, I just want to say, I come from a Habesha background, right? So my parents, especially my mom and my dad, are the strictest of strictest parents that I've ever genuinely met in this life of mine. When it comes to school, it's number one, no excuses, whatever. No excuses, nothing. You just gotta be top of the class. That's in their eyes. That's just what they believe in. It's what has been taught. So understand that if you have a family as well that are really, really on your ass, on your butt, whatever, regarding school and all that, it's a good thing. It's a blessing, because that means that your parents really genuinely care. And even if your parents don't, maybe they have something else in mind for you. So that's not to discredit them at all. But what I'm trying to say is my parents were really strict, and that played a role in my mental, I guess. It did push me and made me grind harder. And there's reasons behind that we can get into another video in the future. But understand that that is on its own a factor within our mind, besides the whole school education and all that I want you to understand that is real, because I've been there, done that. But for one, never let exams define who you are, especially within you. So what I mean by this, so in school, the most important thing, right, is to pass the class. But besides that, to pass the class, right, there's layers behind it or within it, right? And one thing to pass the class, obviously, is to do well on the exams. But here's the thing that I feel even me, I kind of struggled with, mainly my second year of college, or not college, my high school. My freshman year, like I said, I did fantastic. Overall, high school, I did really well, but I feel like I could have done even better. But that's because my sophomore year, I was met with a whole lot of mental stuff that I just never like had experienced before. So it was me tapping into another part of my mind that I eventually had to like overcome, understand first, but overcome. But what do I mean by that, right? So say you hadn't done the best on a test that you've studied for, right? Don't take it personal. God, don't take it personal, because half the exams, just for example, to this day, I'm not using on a daily basis. And even if I were to go and work a full-time job at like, I don't know, a big company, the stuff that I learned in class, especially in high school and college, are way too basic that has nothing to do with what you would be doing in the real world. Okay? So that's not to say don't care. Okay, so Tadissa just said, all right, that shit does not matter, so I don't have, no, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is don't take it personal, and don't let that shit affect you. Like, don't let that deter you from being great, acting on what you need to do, and doing really well. Because at the end of the day, I genuinely feel like there's no excuse. I think there's no level or some type of IQ level that basically says, okay, if you don't have this shit, if you're not at this IQ level, then wow, you're just dumb. No, that is 100% false, bro. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Like, even our parents are like, you have to like, bro, like, let me just sidetrack for 1 second, but this is in relation to what I'm talking about. Like, my mom, God bless her soul, like, she, since I was a kid, anything she get me, it's a book, bruh. A book, just to study, to learn, all that. Okay, that's because they want us to be educated, to learn. Perfect. But I feel like there is a part within that kind of like affects our mental when we grow up, which is, okay, you have to be great, you have to be perfect, no mistakes, no room for errors, da-da-da-da. What I say yesterday, nobody's perfect but the man upstairs, okay? So it's called progress, okay? Progress over perfection. I just thought about that, but yeah, progress over perfection, okay? Your progress will lead you to maybe being perfect in that realm, but like just being the best. How about fuck perfect? Let's just say the best, okay? So what I mean by this is when you do wrong, like when things don't go well on an exam, you should not let that shit just like define you. That exam score, that's not gonna define you, because there's so many other things that's gonna define you in this world, like what type of parent you are, what type of person you are you caring, all that. So just a test score, bro, you should not let that shit get to you, bro. That shit is not important. It's only important for you to get to the next level, or to get to the next thing that you're doing within that class, within that school, or to go on to the next school. All right. So I feel like this is a huge problem that like school fails to like, I don't know, instill within us, because I went through it. And shit, one thing I learned, none of this education that we've learned is like has changed. It hasn't evolved. We're all like, my niece is finna learn probably everything that I went through, or learn, like, you know, my nieces are gonna learn the same type of material that I learned. But there's not really anything that really changed, and that's the problem. There has to be a lot of like, I don't know, evolution, but like something needs to evolve within the educational system. Let's just say that, because it really affects the mental, bro. It's really hot. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know if this is gonna like, I don't know if that's gonna be really loud. All right, actually, you know what? I'll have that like that. There we go. That way I get some air, because it's mad hot and I don't want to just waste gas on some AC and all that. Like, it's just unnecessary. Okay, I know I need to get better at this. That's why there's editing, I get it, but I want to be raw and unfiltered, because I want you to understand that anything is possible, and fuck all the other bullshit. Keep it simple, all right? sometimes all that other extra shit is just doing too much, respectfully. Okay, anyways, let's get on track, all right? Stay on track, that does it. Come on. Don't take it too personal, okay? What I mean by that, instead, figure out what you went, where you went wrong. Like, what happened? Like, okay, instead of saying, damn, I flunked this test, or like, damn. Like, you even saying that, you're putting something in your head that now might become a habit. You feel me? And instead of asking yourself, like, okay, what did I do wrong? You might not care enough for the exam, but in reality, you're gonna, like, especially if you're the type, or if you're someone that's in school and you know you're gonna be in schooling for a long time, you might as well help your mental out by, like, just saying, okay, what did I do wrong? Like, where did I go wrong? Instead of being like, damn. Especially, like, if you put in hours and hours, like I said in my other video, like, my first exam, like chem exam, I got like a 55 in college. I spent hours and hours and hours studying for it, even with people. And when I saw that, I was like, whoa, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit hit me. But, like, I spent time with my professor, what was her name? Mrs. Gunnarsson? Professor Gunnarsson, I believe was her name. Bro, I literally go to her, like, study session, like her TA session. What do they call it? Office hours? Yeah, office hours. I literally would go to it. She was like my second mom. I literally spent hours with her after class, and my class was already 2 hours. And then afterwards, I spent some more time with her to really understand what she's going on, any personal questions. For one, I'm never afraid to raise my hand in front of a group of people, whether it's one other person in class, or like 300. I don't care, because one other person might have the same type of thought, but they just don't want to ask. Or either way, like, it does not matter, because I need to get my question across. I need to understand this, right? I need to understand this material. So there's no reason for you to be like afraid to do that. Like, asking questions in any class is important. And if you have a question, don't be afraid. That's the whole point. They're getting paid to answer your shit, not just to teach you, but to, like, anything you got a question in relation to what you're talking about. It honestly, sometimes it doesn't even have to be related to the class. You still can ask it. You feel me? Like, that's the whole point of a professor and a teacher anyways, bro. But anyways, so, like, figure out where you went wrong, all right? Ask the teacher and slash professor, right, exactly what they're looking for, so you can get a perspective that you might have not had before. And that shit works, bro, because there's times where I'd be like, I swear it was this, but then I asked the teacher or asked the professor, okay, like, you know, like, okay, where did I go wrong? Or, like, what you're looking for? Because here's the thing, like I said also in, like, I think it was my call, like, why I'm going into YouTube full time and I'm done with college, or I'm, like, now that I'm done with college and all that, is because, like, here's one of the things that I hate about school that they need to fix. A professor will tell you something, teach you a standard amount of class, like whatever the material is, right? But there's a chance that whatever you guys talked about in class, whatever you're learning in class, is not exactly going to be on the test, okay? There needs to be a better way, genuinely what I believe. So just don't stress about it. Just, like, honestly, that's why you should go and ask the professor or teacher, like, yo, what exactly are you looking for? Because they might teach you a certain material, but the test, they might be formatting it in their way, meaning they're looking for their own, like, thing out of that to see, oh, okay, he understood this part of the material. So you should definitely just be like, don't, like, realize that, like, that stuff does not matter, okay? Like, don't stress over that shit, because, like, and that's just something that I generally feel like, okay, yo, they need to fix this, because plenty of times where I study something material, like, I have photographic memory for the most part. I'll memorize something word for word, literally word for word, and write it, like what we learned in class, and I'll still, like, not do well on the exam because the professor wanted it in this specific way. I hope that makes sense. I genuinely hope that makes sense to a point where you're like, oh, okay, I know what you mean by that. All right, so yeah, try to get a perspective that you might have not had before, so then you're like, oh, okay, bet. Also, try your best to avoid overthinking, okay? So the whole overthinking aspect, this is the thing that I was talking about earlier about how I kind of like second year of high school. This is something that like I kind of like experienced for the first time, which is overthinking. That shit is real. I hyper focused a lot. I still do to this day, but I've definitely managed it. I've done a lot better of just even understanding. I think understanding your overthinking is a good thing, because then you can actually like move on from it. You feel me? Like you'll be like understand like, okay, I'm wasting too much time on this. I gotta go. Like, you know, stay on the go type of thing. But yeah, like instead, like when you're taking an exam and you know that it's timed, obviously, try to cut out the overthinking. Like you need to like reform the question in your head and like try to think like, okay, this is what, like try to understand what the question is, try to relate it to anything that you remembered that you studied for or learned in class, and then just go with your gut feeling. Like go with what makes the most sense when you're answering these questions, okay? That you might even be iffy about. It does not matter, because at least when you do that, you can go on to the next question and you don't have to keep worrying about the other one, because you're like, okay, I gave it my best. I understood it to this extent. You can even ask the question, like you can ask the professor, hey, is this what you mean? Like even during exams, you can always ask a question. They won't tell you. Some professors are actually like, they'll hint, they'll be like, you know what I'm saying? Like they won't tell the answer, but they'll deadass be that type of person where, like, they're actually some cool ass professors, bro. Like school is not just to stress your shit out, bro. Like you're supposed to learn, but they should also teach it in a way where it's very engaging. And that's a problem that I think to this day, the educational system, whether it's public or private, struggles with the most, is having it engaging. So whenever you have a cool professor that is energetic and all about it, stick with that person. Like really like try to understand and like listen to what they have, because they'll probably hit you with something that you would have never expected. So hopefully that makes sense. Now, say, like I said earlier, I studied with a group, right, for that chem exam. Did horrible. I believe some people did pretty well, but me, I didn't do well, right? So don't be so quick to be hard on yourself. And also, like, if you ever have some type of like feeling like I don't know, some resentment or some shit towards them, like cut it out immediately. Don't let that, you know what I'm saying? Like definitely remove any type of resentment towards them, because they did better in that group, even though you spent the same amount of time and all that. Like you guys might have studied the same amount of time together, that study session. Like don't just look at him and be like, damn, he got a better score than I. What did I like you know what I'm saying? No, just say like, what did I do wrong? Like try to understand where you went wrong. Ask them. Like you studying with them, you might as well ask them like, yo, like what did you say for this question? What did you say? Oh, okay, this is what you did. Oh, I didn't even know that. Boom, I'm ready for the next exam because I know exactly what type of format. Like it's all about the format. But I hope that makes sense. Like don't be like, don't have some type of like evil, like, feel me? Don't look at them because they did better than you. You should be happy for them. You should be glad that they were successful, and that should motivate you to even do better. The whole like school, regardless, especially if you're in high school and college, you're gonna be there for at least 4 to 8 years. High school 4 years, college it could be 4 years and more, and some more. You feel me? So like while you're there and you're around others who are educating themselves and people who are learn with them. Don't be mad at them because they're smarter. And if they're that type of person who's like kind of like brag like and like, oh, I'm the smartest, nah, that should push you harder to like be like, yo, okay, I'm gonna show you what's up then. Like, you know, like make it healthy and competitive in a sense. Don't be too competitive, but make it healthy, like, you know. But don't be like oh, for what? At the end of the day, when you're done with school, what? You're still gonna be mad about that person doing better than you? No. If anything, you'll be happier and glad that you went even harder the next time. And we'll be like, remember that one time where I was like that person was like all that, and then I did it. Like, yeah, I did it. Exactly. That's exactly the type of mentality you should have. None of this, oh, you did better than me, because that's just, and then people are gonna see that, and then sometimes they might even take advantage of that and really mess up your mental. You don't want to give people that type of, you feel me? Just be, hey man, good shit. Hey man, you got a good grade, good shit. Like, I'm happy for you. Like, you don't even have to say it. Just, you can say it in your mind too, but get rid of all that like negative shit. That's another problem in school, is because once you fail, like, school is not like, oh, you could do it better next time, unless you have a good teacher around. Because again, it's not really their, I mean, it's like kind of what you're setting up, you know, like they kind of like are like setting themselves up for, like, preparing themselves to become a teacher, is to teach. And something that they need to teach is failure is normal. Failure is something that you can go off of and learn from. It's a lesson. It's not a loss. It's not an L. It's a dub, actually, because if you go ahead and learn from it and do better the next time, well then shit, you feel me, came back from something that you did wrong in and did even better the next time. You progressed. Not perfect, but you progressed, and that's what matters most. You took the action, feel me? You took the action that was really needed, what was most important in that sense, if that makes sense, you feel me? Can I like eat an orange chicken? It's been like kind of 20 minutes. Bro, that orange chicken smack. I've been eating like this Beijing chicken or whatever instead. I haven't had orange chicken in a minute. I got orange chicken and teriyaki, if you were wondering. My fault. I don't even think I might have mentioned that earlier, but yeah, that's, I didn't want any like chow mein or pasta or rice or all that, because it's like, I just want straight protein and as much protein as possible. Let's just say that. 20%. Wow, this should be, anytime I be recording on this phone, this should be draining my shit, huh? It's all good though. All right. So we talked about like just understand, and like just like how you would go up to the teacher and be like, yo, like, what did I do wrong? Go up to the person who did better than you, be like, hey man, like, what did you say for that? I did it all the time. It made me better, especially in bio in college, especially, or even in high school. Like I took AP bio in high school, and like there'd be times where I wouldn't do so well on the exams, and I hit up bro or the girl next to me and be like, well, actually in high school I didn't have no girls next to me because I went to an all boys school for high school, but in college, you know, it's the same thing. Like, I would do that, but you get my point. Like, I would go up to him, excuse me, and I'd be like, yo, like, what did you do? You feel me? And we just get along and perfect. So yeah, so you can get a better understanding of what you had missing. That way you learn from your mistakes and can go even harder the next time. All right. Don't compare your results with others. That's my whole point, is just don't compare yourself. Okay, I don't know what happened, but like right when I said don't compare yourself and got into that, it just stopped recording. I don't know if it was the wind that just, I don't know, something just ended it on its own. But I think we're good now, so I'm not gonna lie, I kind of ate some more, like just like 2-3 more bites to say, you know, I'm sorry. All right, I had to. Saw the opportunity and took it, you feel me? But anyways, what we were talking about, or what I was talking about to y'all, Anta and Anchi, what our discussion about is today. I mentioned don't compare your results with others. Like, don't compare yourself with others. It's a sickness, it's an illness. That's what literally the last thing I had said before it cut off. It's an illness, and I mean it. Like, genuinely, it is an illness. It's a sickness, because when you compare yourselves to others, they might have qualities or something about them that you might not have, And then in the back of your head, you're forming this shit where it's not like support. It's not supporting at all. You're not helping your case. You're not. You feel me? Now, if you're like, oh, this person is like this, and I like that, and I'm trying to get like that. He has a character. She has a characteristic. They have a characteristic that I see, that I love, and I would love to do, or have, or apply to my life. Okay, that's not comparing. That's you recognizing something that someone has that you would love, you feel like you can do even better. Fine, do that. That's perfectly normal. But this comparing, oh, they got a better score, or this and that, and feel some type of way, cut that out. It's a sickness, it's an illness. And there's so many, I feel like so many students, so many people that do that. Because I've done it at one point. And that's just all about realizing your worth, which we can also talk about in another video. But like, it's an illness. Like, why? Your life is your life. Like, what did I say? At the end of the day, you're going to graduate and it's going to be your name on there, right? Not theirs, yours. So focus on what you got. And I promise you'll get farther than focus on the next person over you and what they got. Because then you're a spectator. You're not a doer. You feel me? You're a spectator. You're not a doer. And that is not what we want to be doing. All right. So what do we want? What do I mean? Don't compare your results with others. So instead, be happy for others who have done well. It's all mental and how you approach it. How you approach the exam, right? So test scores, they don't define who you are at all. It's just a score to allow you to take, like, it's just a score that allows you to take a certain class or get somewhere else next. You feel me? So obviously, like SATs and all that. Ooh, SATs, bro. Do your best. Don't overthink it. Study, study, study. Kick ass. Do your best. But when you're done, you're done. Leave it. Leave it. Now, if you feel like you could do better, and like, which is always a thing, there's always room for improvement, then do that. Especially if it's a school or something that you want to get in and you want to be there, manifest it, do it. But don't let, oh my goodness, the SATs, they have the PSATs and then the ACTs and all that kind of stuff. Bro, who, like, it's just like, in college, bro, in school, like, I don't know, bro. It's just like, it's not really, bro, like, them teachers or like whoever, like, they be having that shit like, oh, you got to do that. It's the golden ticket, da-da-da. It's not really the golden ticket. It's how you approach it. That's the golden ticket. I know I have holes in my shirt. This is like one of my like favorite, like, what is this? I don't know if it's a crew neck or like, you know? I think I have like a hole here too, but like, bro, I don't care. It's comfy. And obviously it's not a hole all over in my body. It's just like on my arms, like on the sleeves area, but it's cool. But anyways, that's besides the point. Okay, it's comfy, so I'm still wear it. I don't care. Yeah, it's just some, like, the test score is just to get you somewhere, bro. And like those PSATs and SATs and all that stuff, like, that's just to help you like get to that point or get you there. And to just show the college like another thing of, oh, this person is determined. What did I say this whole time? It's all about determination and you acting on it. It's not the IQ who got the highest level. No, because at the end of the day, that college is taking your money, or they're gonna offer you money to go to their school. You feel me? That's it. It's a business in a sense. Like, yeah, it's business first, and then you get the education. So you gotta understand, like, you're going into it, and they might think like, oh, you need to be perfect, da da da. Nobody's perfect. Sorry. As much as our parents force it on us to be the greatest and to be the best in school, #1, damn, you step it, you got no video game, da 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 da. That's true to a certain extent, but in reality, like, I'm just gonna be real with you. As long as you do your best and you're determined, and you can show your parents, you can show your professors that you did your best, your ultimate best, and you show them through your actions that I did my best, they're gonna be proud of you. They're gonna be happy, because guess what? There's a lot of other people who wouldn't do that. who wouldn't go out their way to like even to try to be the best, to be as successful as they can be. And that's why our parents force that shit down our throats, really, like just to really just be very like, but it's a real thing, and should be grateful for that and understand that that's all they really want. It's because at the end of the day, bro, they already lived their life. Now it's like their life is you, and your life is yours, and it's also up to you to be like, I really want to pay back homage. I want to pay back and make my parents proud. I want to, like, that's up to you. And it all comes down to determination, how disciplined you are, and just keeping that consistency, keeping the flow going. You feel me? Like, all that matters, bro. Like, keep it simple, Like, don't stress yourself. Like, at the end of the day, you know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to be babysitting you the whole, like, your rest of your life. Also, let me just get that light. Whoa. All right. Let's just chill out, bro. Anyways, yeah. So they do not mean that since you failed at this exam, you are now a failure for the rest of your life, and or that you are just not intelligent at all. Because to be honest, that's completely utter bullshit. All right, respectfully, it's cap, straight cap. No exam is gonna tell me how I'm gonna live my life. That's because if that was the way, then like, man, I feel like if that was genuinely how exams were and like on some real shit, then half of the people who are, you feel me, the richest or wealthiest or successful people wouldn't be as successful or whatever, because it would really hit everyone's mental on the same note and really be as detrimental. But a test score is not saying shit. Like, yeah, you want to be the shit on that test score. You want to beat the shit out the test score. You want to do your shit. You feel me? But after that, bruh, you're like, that test score, it's not going to define you. Because guess what? When you're 20 or 18, that test score, that 80, that 95, whatever, 100% you got on the exam, you're not going to carry that and be like when you're 25, 30, I got 100 on that one exam. Like, this, you feel me? This is kind of still talking about the past. Let's focus on the future. Let's focus on the present and the future. Let's keep it going. Let's keep that same work ethic that you did on that exam and keep it going. Feel me? So I hope that analogy, I hope that makes sense, right? Yeah, so never look at L's as losses. Instead, look at them as lessons, because you can never stop learning from either mistakes, let alone wins. All right. So, yeah, never take an L, or like everyone says, oh, that's an L, bruh. It's not an L, or it's not a loss, bro. It's a lesson. You have something to learn from it. You feel me? Like, you have something to improve on now, right? Imagine just being filthy at everything and just being great. Like, low key, I feel like at one point it might just be boring if you were just naturally great at everything. Like, I feel like that means you really don't have to do shit and try shit, which is cool in one sense, because it's like, okay, I'm not wasting as much energy, but there's always something to improve on, to do better. You feel me? Like, I don't want to hear it. Like, even the greatest basketball players, like, bruh, for them to be how great they are, they constantly work. And like, the next season for them to still be great is because they're improving their game, period, bruh. And it's for the love of the game that they do that for. You feel me? I hope that makes sense. So an L is not a loss, it's a lesson, period. All right. So that LOSSES, losses, or LOSS, remove that. It does not coincide with L. All right. It does not correlate to that word, or to that saying L. All right. If anyone says that's an L, mind yourself. That's a lesson, something you can take and, like, learn from, and go from there. And like what I said is, like, you can never stop learning from either mistakes, let alone your wins. So anytime you win a game, you can always look back and be like, I see what I did there, and maybe I can even do better. Like, can you do better? You feel me? Is this the last straw, or can I go another step forward? You feel me? You gotta ask yourself those kind of things. And it's really simple, because especially when you're young in high school and college, I promise you it's not the end of the world, bro. I promise you it's not the end of the world. You can keep going. There's nothing that can stop you. You're so young and energetic that like Anta, like it's crazy. Like you literally, all that energy, like that. Sometimes that's why I'm like, damn, like low-key I wish, I don't know, I just feel like school in one way is kind of a waste of your energy and time, because like you have so much energy when you're young, especially then, that you can actually be so successful within a few years that you would spend in high school and college. And there's just so many negative shit that comes with high school and college, and that's why I'm like, damn, like that stuff is a waste of time. Like school, college, respectfully, it's important. Education is important. I want to get that like across. It's very important. But I also feel like it's not what defines you. Feel me? It's not what, tells you, okay, you could do that and this, or you can't do that or this. No. Because again, do you understand those books and stuff that you use in class and school are like shit that you're like, it's already been pre-written like ages ago. But time evolves. Like the iPhone, right? You remember the first iPhone and then the new iPhone, like new iPhones that are like touchscreen, Face ID, all that, right? That's progress. That's something that we've learned and seen. School, it's kind of the same thing, bro. It's dry and dead, to be honest. And that's why I'm very annoyed that I don't see progress. I don't see new history in the books that we should be teaching our youth, onto like, nobody's doing that. And it's kind of messed up, but in reality that's really how it is. And so I hope that made sense. But yeah, like school is important. I just feel like in a certain extent, because I hate when they say, school's important, that's how you're gonna live your life. I think school teaches you how to be disciplined, how to approach things and keep working for it, and then you be able to attain and achieve those things, like your diploma, which is what you get after the 4 years or 4 years of high school or 4 years of college, which is then you get your degree. You feel me? So I hope that makes sense. You feel me? And yeah, so like I generally see the standard test score result as a detrimental factor to the mind of an individual, especially of those in the early ages, because the words such as fail and did not pass kind of steer people away from trying harder. All right, I hope that makes sense. Schools put too much emphasis on succeeding, but look at failure as a bad thing. Like they teach you failure. You don't want to fail this. You don't want to do this, because then you can't go to the next one. Feel me? Like, well, in reality, your failures are low-key a blessing in disguise. Okay, reason why I say blessing in disguise is because it shows you an area that you can improve on. Okay, so failure is not a bad thing. It's a part of life. You're gonna fail at one thing for sure. It might not be school. It might not be like relationships or something, but there will be something that you will fail and see that you failed at, and it's your responsibility. It's up to you, right, to be like, okay, how can I do better? Where did I go wrong? And improve from there. That's it. Simple as that. There's nothing more to it, bruh. Simple as that. Okay? So don't overthink it. Don't be like, oh, that person's better than that. Who cares? Be happy. You know what I'm saying? You having them good energy, the good perspective of like, yo, you do well. Like you're manifesting while doing that. You're creating a good energy, good vibes around you, and them people are gonna appreciate you for that, bruh. Because when you go around and do well on the next exam, and if they hear about it, it's a high chance they'll be like, this person came out like without me, like they didn't have to do that. And they might even come up to you and be like, yo, good shit. Again, don't expect shit. All right, what did I say before? Don't ever expect shit for nobody. But what I'm saying is, anything can happen. You feel me? So definitely appreciate it. Definitely be kind. You know what I'm saying? Be generous in that sense. Be gracious, but don't be so negative, bruh. And don't be afraid to tell your parents that you did wrong, bruh. Like at the end of the day, they're there to like support you. they might be mad at you. They might first think, oh, you didn't do shit. And that's typically what it is. Like, I feel like is a lot of us, especially Halbersters, we don't want to tell our parents shit about our schools because they're going to beat our ass, you know, with a kabato or anything, the shoes, the belt, anything. Because they automatically think usually, oh, you because it's a phone, it's TV, like all that. So I get it. You feel me? I get it. But low key, even if you have an older sibling, like I have my older sister in my life, I would tell her more things than I would tell my parents. But she's like a second mom to me. But like, she also lived this, you feel me? She also went through the process, so she knows and she can better understand. And if you have something that you want to talk about and you feel more comfortable, I don't know, maybe with me, drop it down in a comment or hit me up with, like, I think you could private message on YouTube or something. I don't know. You can find my socials. Eventually they'll be on my, I still haven't really posted. I don't think I have my socials on here. That's just because that's not my focus. My focus is just to get as much content, as much valuable things that I believe are valuable and can be as impactful for y'all. But yeah, like hey, I'm here for y'all too, like real talk. Cause like I wish I had someone really like that was telling me all these certain things. Yes, I just said I had my older sister, but in reality she has her own life too. I'm not gonna bug her like 24/7, you feel me? So that's what I meant by that. But I know y'all understood what I meant by that. But yeah, like your failures is a blessing in disguise, and something, it just shows you an area that you can improve on, period. That's it. And that's important. You know why? Because you can always improve on anything. Okay, even those who are looked at as the best, like I said earlier, are the best due to the fact that they are constantly working hard to find ways on improving on what they are good at already, and do so with discipline as well as determination through it all. All right. Lastly, I just want to leave this message behind. A lot of the most successful men and women, people of all kinds, not necessarily were the smartest in their class, okay? Not the smartest in their class. And then let alone went to school, okay? A lot of people didn't go to school. They worked their ass off, they believed in their dreams, and they're successful, period. And what kind of characteristics do all those people have? What they all seem to have, right? Is to have, they all seem to have determination, discipline, and consistency. That's it. Simple as that. And yeah, so the quote of the day, or like something I feel like is very meaningful towards this video that we just discussed together, that we've understood each other on, that I want to leave y'all with, is when you stop comparing yourself to everyone else and focus on your own lane, it becomes so much easier to wish others nothing but success and happiness. I'm gonna say that one more time for the people in the back. You feel me? When you stop comparing yourselves to everyone else and focus on your own lane, it becomes so much easier to wish others nothing but success and happiness. Because you doing your own thing, you might see one on the side, oh, this thing is telling me 10% now, okay. You might see someone on the side or whatever, but you're still going. You can go ahead and be like, hey, keep going, period. It's kind of like, I don't know, I have this analogy that just came up in my head, I guess I can share it. It's like, basically like, okay, it's just like another form of kindness. Like when you're driving or you're going somewhere, you might see someone homeless or someone that might need some money or something, right? It's the form of being kind and gracious and going ahead and giving them some money. Not thinking too much about it. Don't expect nothing. Just be kind. Like that's another form of giving, charitable, like an act of you being in your own lane, wishing for others to be as successful and happy. And so I hope that. So look, wow. That last part of the video where I said I hope that, I don't know, like the last few, I'm just gonna keep it in the video, but basically, thank God, like my phone, I think like I need to start like partitioning or like making sure that I have space because like it literally clicked out. Like it just exited like the recording on its own, went to the home screen, and when I went back, the second clip, which you just seen, the second 20 minutes, I think it was, just disappeared. I restarted my phone, still wasn't there. And I was low-key shook because I was like, damn, I really just got everything off. I got everything off my chest that I wanted to tell y'all. And now I got to say it, which was cool. But I came home to just do it in a better setting where I'm more comfortable because it's getting hot in my car. But besides the point, you obviously can tell that you actually got the video. So you got my point. And, well, I'm glad because, damn, that would have been kind of would have been annoying. But I still was determined to, you know, record it because what I said in that video, I hope genuinely opens up your eyes and is valuable in one way or another. It's all meant with love at the end of the day. And yeah, anyways, it's your boy CEO Habasha. You got the quote, so everything's been taken care of. Yeah, comment down below if you've gotten to this far. You should have gotten to this far. Comment down below getting this far and letting me know what was your takeaway from this video. All right. Anyways, it's your boy CEO Habasha, and I'm out. Peace. Love y'all.